with insurance. When you meet Jesus, junk moves out, God moves in. That's why I know the relationship wasn't real, because I got the real thing. And I didn't have it then. I sure didn't have it then. I had become the robber of Gaston County. I robbed every dope dealer, especially the ones that had something. I didn't want the little nickels and dimes. I wanted the ones that had it. I'd rob you quick. I'd take anything home, invasions, pulling guns, whatever it took. Everybody knew me. I carried nunchucks on me, and I'd jump out and beat you down with them, your girlfriend with her, and she'd be sick-minded. I tell you, demonic is real. All these things I'm telling you, I had to be delivered from. Only Jesus can do that. Only Jesus can do things like this. The Bible says, for the wages of sin is death. I'll tell you, I was hard at work, honey. And I was getting ready to die. I was waging for sin, and I was the hardest worker on the block. Sin was my life, and I was held by it. Somebody just shout Jesus real quick. Jesus! I had to hear his name because this next part is, I don't even want to bring it up. I don't want to bring it up. When you become so sick-minded, and you play in these things that I played in, and you begin to run the streets, streets ain't no love for you. There is no gangster paradise that lied to us. They lied. I become to where I wanted to mark everybody out. Pastor, I would want to make sure that I marked everybody that I came in contact that I had a problem with. Mark them. What are you talking about, Pastor? I would bite sides of their faces off. Bite sides of their cheeks off. Bite their ears off. Whew. You talking about evil at its worst. I was that man. What kind of sick individual bites another human being to mark it? I was hurting, and I wanted to die. So I wanted everybody that came in my contact, when you looked in the mirror in the morning, to remember me. And there's people out there right now that have scars on their faces, part of their ears gone. Demonic. Devilish. And I tell you, there's a man. God's word says this, it says, though you made your bed in hell, still there I am. I have made my bed in hell. And I liked it so much that I put posters on the wall. I put a recliner in there myself. I was proud of it. Something just got me off on it, knowing the sickness that I caused and the habit. I tell you, the devil really is real. And I want you to understand, it's a slow fade. This didn't happen overnight. He slowly just led me away. And I began to hear the voice of Satan for so long that I called him Lord. You listen to me. Every time that I'd be praying, Ryan, and I was thinking that I was talking to God, and it was Satan himself that was talking to me. And I called him Lord. I remember when I was going to do a home invasion one time, and somebody had owed me, I think, $100 or something stupid. So I'm going in and beat him down, and I'm going to hit him in the head with his pistol, and I'm going to bite the side of his face off his cheek. So he'll know, don't ever mess with my money. And I went in there and I did exactly what I told you I did. And all I can think back on those days is how the devil just really had took over me. And I'll be praying, Tracy, on my way over there. Listen to me. God police catch me. They got my money and I'm going to let them know. You gave me the 2 of hearts. You should have gave me the ace of spades. It's kind of your fault. I want you to know there's 2 voices, and I'll make that very clear to you. There is nothing that can separate you from the love of God. And you belong to Him. The rest of them throw you out, curse you out, and spit on you, and treat you like whatever. But God. I just knew, looking back on my life, that I took Him in some places that I hang my head down today for. I can only imagine Mama, Him walking in them rooms, having to turn His back on His own son because He couldn't watch what I was doing. Whew. I'm 29 years old. I was living in Florida full time now. I had 2 dope houses in Gaston. I done made a new life. I was a drug trafficker now. I lived on an island called Singer Island. It's in Riviera Beach, Florida. Riviera Beach, Florida, the saying of Singer Island is everything stolen ends up on Riviera Beach. Ain't it something? I ended up there too. Because I was stolen. The Bible says that the enemy came to kill, steal, and destroy. So I was on the perfect island because I was stolen property. I belonged to the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. If you'd asked me, I was a saved man through all of this. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. I had come to figure out how to really traffic drugs better than most had ever in their life. I thought I was the smartest one on the block. I'd done it almost 8 years straight. Nobody had ever caught me. Had a perfect plan. I would go, had a homeboy of mine that worked at FedEx down in Charlotte. I won't say that name. And I would take all of the drugs and I would go buy hamster cages. See, when you get a live animal and you go into FedEx, protect your system from people like me. I'd found out through the manager that when I brought a live animal in, that Jesse, they didn't check it. They wouldn't search it. It was an animal, it was alive. Put it straight on the truck. Woo, ticket. All I got to do is buy hamsters now. Gerbils or whatever. Rats and rodents. And I'm going to fill the whole bottom of the cage up with dope, cocaine, heroin, whatever I wanted to send. I put it in the bottom of these cages and I fill up the little shavings. And I put the little hamsters in and I'd walk in and I'd tell them the address I wanted to send and a fake name and to the rental house that we had it at. So they would take it, put it straight on there, and this worked for almost 8 years. Wow. I become a full-time junkie, dope dealing, robbing, $350 a day habit. When you start spinning out of control like this, understand the end is coming quick. I believe, this is not biblical, but this is my own personal belief of walking with Jesus. I believe each and every one of his children have a rope on. He tells you, if you abide in me, I'll abide in you. But if you want to do things your way, I'm a perfect gentleman. I'll let you do your thing. Nothing will take you out of my hands but you. You don't want to be here, son. I can't make you stay. And I didn't want to stay. But when you belong to him, he says, I chastise the ones that I love.
That's right.
He will snatch that rope out of you and trip you and bust your face wide open if it takes it.
That's right.
If he has to put you on the ground where you have nowhere else to look but up.
That's right.
God is a kind of God that his love surpasses all understanding. You can never figure God out. How in the world could he even love something that I'm telling you? I didn't even love myself or him. I had gone down to Florida, and this happened in 2008. I was doing like I always did, but this time was a little bit different, David. I had to make a trip back because I had to go see my little girl. And I had already done put more dope up under her car seat than you can even imagine. nothing new to me, Kathy, to have my little 2-year-old daughter in a place where people get missing, their kidneys end up gone. They end up sex trafficked, or they end up in the bottom of Alligator Alley, especially if you got some money. But you'd have to kill me, and I think that's the only thing they say to me, because they knew they was going to have to shoot and kill me, because I'd shot you too. They knew if I came, I had something on me. And he wasn't too bright. He didn't care if he died. So maybe that's what it was. I don't know. I don't know if it was just God. That's all I can say. This time I made a trip to Florida, and I hadn't seen my little girl in a little while, and I said, you know, Daddy gonna be the hero. I stopped by Walmart, got a bunch of little My Little Ponies and this, and had the FedEx man this time really send some good presents back, mixed in with some dough. I don't know Daddy's on the way home. I was going to catch a Greyhound bus later on that night, but the shipment hadn't come in till later, so I had to wait. I had to stay over. Ooh, hallelujah. I took I had some Michael Jordans. I always liked them Jordans. And I would take the shoes out like this, and inside the soles, I would cut them all the way through. And Jordans always got airbags in them. And I cut all the airbags out, and I fill it full of pills. Really, what I was making sure then was for my personal gain, because I knew I was going to be there about a week, so I needed at least 350 pills. Yeah, I was that sick. And I filled them up and had some cocaine, a little bit of heroin, had a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And I put the Jordans around my neck, and I had tied them and had a bag, and I had a couple pair of Jordans in there, and I had some other little pill containers, and I think like 5 cell phones, because I was never truthful to anybody. I had, this girlfriend, that girlfriend. I'm just being honest. You can't have the same phone your girl might answer, so we had a different number for that. And I would fill them things slam full up with pills too. This bag is loaded. And I'm getting ready to get on the Greyhound. I took this trip more times than I can tell you. It was like going to kindergarten. I knew how to do it. This night, something changed. I was at the woman's house, and some man was there I'd never seen before. Long story short, I don't know what happened, but God intervened. He called and made a phone call. The FBI agent is actually in Florida. That's actually where their headquarters is. He made an anonymous call down there and told them that there's a boy that was going to say his name was Matthew Moore. Sorry, Matt. He was like my brother. What kind of brother was I? I'd use his name instead of mine because I knew I was probably wanted anyway. So I would use fake names and everything and fake everything. I'm getting on the bus, and it was about 2:30 in the morning. I missed the first one because I was high and fell asleep at a pier. And I woke up and they said the next one comes in around 3:05 a.m. Palm Beach, I mean this with all due respect. I can tell if you belong there. If you wasn't from that side of town, you would stick out like a store thumb. I'm looking, and I'm street mentality, and I see this woman walking this dog. It's a Labrador. Her and her husband, it looked like. And I'm sitting up there about doped out of my mind, and she starts walking with a Labrador at almost 3 o'clock in the morning. Something clicked in my head. Something felt wrong. So I stood up and I grabbed my bag and said, I'm out. That's the police. So I grabbed the bag. As soon as I did, the back of the train station that's behind the Greyhound station in Palm Beach, police came everywhere. The church bus that was sitting in front, police came out of it. The woman that was walking that dog was in fact the FBI agent. They were all over me like you wouldn't believe. And I just set the bag down and tried to like it ain't my bag. I said, where you going with that bag? That's yours. I said, come on, I said, yeah, we got pictures of you pulling up here. What's your bag? He said, what's your name? I said, Matthew Moore. He said, of course it is, Jason Robbins. I said, well, from here on out, I plead the fifth. I ain't got nothing to say. I knew that ain't my first rodeo. It wasn't my first rodeo. So I sit still and went on back. They put me in the county jail, and I said, get ready to fast forward. We ain't got much longer. Y'all hang out with me. We went into the county jail, and I was in there for 6 months. And I was trying to figure out how in the world can I get out of here? I got to get out of here quick. When you're out of town in Florida, you don't just get a free pass from the parole officer because you are a flight risk. You're going to go right back to Gaston County, boy. You a flight risk. You ain't going nowhere. You're going to stay right here. I ain't posting bail for you. So I already knew this. So I knew I had to be real smooth about it. I called a couple homeboys of mine. I said, go rent this house down here in Palm Beach. Go put my name on the mailbox. Then go get your parole officer and tell them that's where I live. They'll go by and check it out. They'll come and get me out. It worked. Sometimes I was smart for my own good. I made it to Thanksgiving. All that was going on. I got out, and he had posted bail and come and got me out, and I already made up my mind I'm out of here. You know, the Bible says that a dog will return right back to his vomit.
That's right. That's right.
Just like a dog. I went and had a little bit of stash pot, and I went to a homeboy of mine, and I told him, I got knocked down, man, I need a little front, man. I need you to spot me. And I said, brother, you know, I got you. What you need? He gave me the money. I went right back to Palm Beach. Right back. Was being followed the whole time. And I was waiting on, Pastor Allen, I was waiting on the dope man to come home. So I went with this girl, and some girl that I knew down there, and I'm like, I can stay here for free right now. We can hang out, I act like I like you, whatever, and at the end I'm going to rob you too before I leave. Because I knew she ate pills too. And I did. She was with her, I robbed her. And I went to some doctor that my homeboy Brent knew, and got them pills, and then I went to the old girl's house and got some more dope. We got everything now, we stashed back up. We on our feet. And I made up my mind, I'm going to go ahead and go out on out, boy. I'm going to go cut a rug real quick while we in Palm Beach before we go back. She said, I'll give you a ride over here. She don't even know she's robbed. I took all her stuff. She riding me around, don't even know I robbed her. When she got home, she's going to figure it out.
Wow.
So she said, we'll go over here to this little boy. He's got some good chicken wings. I said, all right, we're going up in here. Long story short, I pull up at the light, and a police pulls up right beside me. When I seen him, I said, oh, you know, he views from the street, the police, he look straight, don't move, don't even look over there, don't look straight ahead. She didn't live the life I lived, so it didn't bother her. She's going, this ain't all good, you know, just being a goofy little girl. And I'm getting mad about a minute, you know, because she's acting stupid to me. I'm like, they don't get us, you need to chill out. You don't know how much dope I got in your car. You know, I got your dope too, you don't even know it. So she's like, I don't even know where this bar is. I mean, listen how this bright side is. She says, I don't know where the bar is. She's from there. I mean, she ain't the brightest one either. So she rolls down in her window, puts the car in park, and sets her butt up on the window and looks over at the cop. Do you know where such and such bar and grill is? He goes, just like this. Points across the street. Now I already know we in trouble. The voice that I knew my whole life spoke to me again right there in that car. You better get ready. I took the bottles off the top of the pills, and I'm sitting here while the cop's sitting right there. I'm taking bottles of pills out of my pocket, and I'm telling you, looking straight ahead, I'm opening pill bottles, left and right. Got a bag of cocaine sitting here. Tied another knot in it so it wouldn't bust in my stomach too quick, because I've done that a time or two. So I didn't want it to blow my heart up. I had a half ounce. I knew it would kill me. So I said, well, it wasn't too small what I was about to do. There was 280 Roxys in my pocket, 60 Xanaxes, and about 200 and some odd Percocets, and a half ounce of cocaine. And I made up my mind. I had I think it was a sun drop or whatever it was in my hand, and I knew, I said, if you get behind me, so I'm going to eat everything in this car. And I heard a voice. Just swallow it off. Just lie, the devil's asleep. He spoke right in my spirit. Just lie and go to the hospital and telling you with some dumb girl and you don't know what you ate and then your stomach pumped out real quick. I said, man, that's a heck of a, that's smart. I'll do this. So I'm waiting. Sure enough, when she took that left, he was going straight. And she gave these blue lights. And I swallowed every pill, took the drink, and I shot everything down my throat. When I was in the car, I had locked the door, and I told her I'd shoot her in the face if she opened the door. I didn't have a gun that night, thank God. But she didn't know it. Cop's looking, and he sees me swallowing dope. So he turns and he grabs his flashlight and he hits it. Boom, busts in the window. I'm snatched down on my face. And I'm like, well, he ain't got nothing on me now. I got him down.
Hey.
I'm done. I'm free. Can't get me.
Yeah.
He put me in the back of his police car and he starts digging through the car. You know, he's searching through everything. And I'm looking in the back. And I'm talking to God again. I said, God, just let me get to the hospital. And I said a couple cuss words, and I said, man, I swallowed a lot of dope. I ain't never swallowed this much. He gotta hurry. I got about 10 minutes, baby. He gotta hurry, he gotta hurry, he gotta hurry, he gotta hurry. And I never woke back up. When they did find me, the ambulance said they found me in a bush. Somebody had, I was in the back of a cop car, so keep that in mind. I take it, I'm probably throwing up JD, and they beat him off pretty good, and he probably threw me out because he didn't have nothing to get me with. And I was beat all the crap. I wasn't beat before that had happened. And my back worked good before that happened, my mama. There wasn't nothing wrong with my leg. I was Superman before that day. I'm in the back of an ambulance getting transferred, dead on arrival. They shot me 3 times, the ambulance. I'm telling you everything from the other side of the grave that they told me. Why did God spare me? I don't know. I've lost so many brothers from drug overdose and everything. I sit in the back. I just think about people that I probably killed from getting drugs, and it just breaks my heart, to be honest with you. I think, why would you spare me? I wake up, and I'm outside a hospital. I'm standing in front of the hospital room. I'm looking, and I don't know where I'm at, but I feel like I know exactly where I'm at. Now, this may sound crazy to you. I'm not crazy. Jesus saved me. I'm standing at the hospital, and I have never been in this place, and everything looks strange, but I know exactly where I'm at. I can't explain it. And I see this boy coming walking across the parking lot, Gerard, and I looked at him. And it was like I knew him, like I know you back there, JD. It was like I knew you. And I kept watching him, and I said, man, what are we doing up here? How did I even get here? So I'm walking toward him, and he's walking toward me. And the closer I got toward him, I realized it was me walking toward me. And I met him. And I can't explain this to you, and it may sound crazy as all get out. These are things that I don't talk about because people think I believe in aliens and everything else, you know. I'm just telling you what happened. I walked in front of him, and I became him. I was walking with him, and I could see everything that I was doing. I knew exactly where I was going. I walked into the hospital, and this dude, like, he knows the way. And I'm just walking with him. I'm in him. Can't explain it. And he goes to the elevator, and he pushes the button, and I'm looking, and I walk up out of the elevator, and I see my mom, and she's talking to a doctor. And I see a room behind it. And I said, I'm walking, and I'm like, Mama, who's in there? Mama ain't paying me no attention. I said, Mama, I know you see me. I wasn't a good child. I was rude. Being rude even then. I said, I know you see me, woman. Look at me. She just kept talking like she didn't even see me. So he was like from here to me, you, David, she's talking to the doctor. I just bust up in the middle of them, Jody, like a heathen, like you know I would be. I just do this. Let me see. So I walk in this room, trying to show you something what God has revealed to me and showed me, and I kept things in and kept to my wife and other people and thought I was crazy, but I realized I ain't crazy. I thought it was. God had showed me something. He saved me. I walked in that room, and there was a light over her body. I walked over to the body, and I looked, and I said, "You in bad shape, boy." I remember looking at him, talking to him like I knew him, but then I looked down, and I seen that tattoo across his neck. I looked at that tattoo again. It said, "Peyton, that's my daughter." And I realized that man on that table was me. And I started screaming, "Get up. Get up, you're stronger than this. MF and this and that and this," screaming to the top of my lungs. "You ain't no PUS, get up." And I heard a door slam like you ain't believe. Bam! And I walked away from what they all look alike. I walked down toward the hospital door, out of the room, and the door was shut, but the bathroom door was open. I said, oh, you trying to sneak in on me? I don't know who I'm chasing. But I was walking through the bathroom, and I'm looking. I look in the shower, I look everywhere, there's nobody there. Then on the way back to come out of the door, I said, man, you took too much acid, man. Boy, you crazy. I remember thinking, you lost your mind. You thought you were dead before we was dreaming. And I walked out the door, and there was that same body still laying on the table. So I walked over to it then, and I ran toward it then. And I started screaming, get up, get up, get up. And I didn't see demons with no pitchfork. My grandma asked me, what did I see when I woke up? My mom thought I was crazy. I didn't see demons, but I did see 6 shadow people. I was laying on the table, and all I seen was shadows coming this way and shadows coming this way. And my whole body that light was shining on was disappearing. And I screamed, Jesus! Boosh. I opened my eyes. My grandma Dorothy, wait a minute, you saint woman, I love you pieces. Nobody got you like Mama does. I see my grandma sitting over here. I see my mama laying at my feet. And they didn't even like they knew I was awake just yet. They told her I was brain dead and that, this is what God. I told my mama, I said, the first words I said coming out of that mess, I said, am I in prison? Or in jail? I think I said, am I in jail? My mama said, forgive my mama here. She was excited. She said, my son ain't retarded, and jumped up and started going crazy. He ain't crazy. He's right. He's here. She couldn't believe. She thought that was going to have to unplug me off of life support. This boy's brain dead. You know what? This doesn't happen. I was dead legally for 28 minutes. You hear me? 28 minutes legally dead. You wonder why I dance and shout and shout at Jesus and act like I'm so retarded. People forgiving me. Yes, his name is worthy. Yes. I got up and my mama was there. Mama was there. My Aunt Kathy was there. It wasn't good yet. He woke up a devil. Truthfully. God in his grace, you have no idea the love of God. When you spit on him, when you curse him, when you tell him you promise you're going to serve him, and you never do. I'm going to start reading your Bible, and you never do. And he wipes it right off. Holds out a nail-scarred hand. I got up, and I found out shortly that I was paralyzed. I cussed God for everything that I had in me. I told him, why didn't you let me die? What kind of MF are you? If you even real. And God had just saved me from hell. And knew. He never wakes up and says, I didn't see it coming. He knew that when I woke up, I'd spit on him and I'd curse him and I'd throw rocks right at him. He understood and knew exactly what I did. And he still saved me. I'm going to fast forward. I get out of the hospital, get home, I tried to commit suicide 2 times. Now I'm trying to because I'm paralyzed and I want to die and I have something wrong with my lower back is ruptured and it still is today. Man can't walk. This man is, nobody wants to believe that I'm in agonizing pain, boy, because I'm a junkie. He just wants more drugs. Wow, Mama was in York, South Carolina, where we at. I was with my mama. She was trying the best she could do with me. I was having my 12-year-old niece go outside and bring drugs in. I'd have my homeboy come up and meet me at the mailbox, crippled up, still wanting to die. Bring the dope in. I get a 12-year-old child to go get my dope, bring it to me. While I went up and snorted it, did what I do. Mama trying to figure out how to save this child of hers. Only Jesus could do this.
That's right.
She had all she could take. I didn't try to commit suicide 2 times after this. God, every time, intervened. I think she sent me to my mama, I can't say for certain. Somehow or another, I was with my sister down there getting drunk with your son, Dwayne. And we was having us a party. And I said, well, I'm going to go back to Mama and see her. Mama will give me a ride back to Gastonia. I get low on pills. Mama was going to take me back. Mama done had enough. Mama pulls up with me in the car, and all my bags are on the front porch. Remember that, Mama? Sometimes you got to give your children to God.
Yeah. Right.
Don't put Jonah in hiding. We'll just make it worse. Throw him overboard. Let God have him.
Amen.
Mama threw Jonah off the boat. She sent me to Mama's, long story short. Mama took me in and started taking me on. We gonna stay here, right? You go to church, boy. So I went to church down here, Central Baptist Church, and I ran into an old country boy named Pastor Kerry Caldwell. Let's fast forward. Went into the church several times with Mama, always going Bible studies, and God was doing something. When you take your children to church, make them sit there and listen. Even though you don't look like he's getting nothing, seeds have been planted. Even though it don't look like a harvest come in, seeds have been planted. Mama took me in, took me out, took me in, took me out, but I was still over at my sister's house getting drunk, and me and my boy, me and my cousin Dwayne, boy, we were running the roads, we were getting into this, getting into that. He was showing me the only love he knew, the same love I did. Mama, one day I was getting ready to go get some weed, and my buddy, and this kind of strange as all get out, but this is the truth. I ain't gonna say no name, he's still down there. I said, I'm gonna call my buddy and see if he'll bring me a little dime sack. But I told Mama on Friday I was gonna go to church with her. It sounded good on Friday, but Sunday come real quick. So she pulled up at the house, JD, and she's beeping the horn. Beep, 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 beep. Come on outside. And I told her, hi. I told Tabby, I said, tell Mama I ain't here. I wouldn't hit you. And I'm tripping coming through here like this. Tell Mama I'm in the back. Don't you tell her. She said, I ain't lying to Mama. I said, you better tell her. So she goes to the door and she tells Mama, last woman, and Mama pulls out and leaves. She goes on to church. Now, the church ain't about a half mile up the street. At that. And we're off Blackburn Street down here. You know where it is. So I said, well, after she left, I called my buddy and I said, man, let's bring me a little thing. He said, man, I'm going to go to church. I ain't selling no weed today. I at the church. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy. I said, well, when you get done, come by and bring me something. He said, all right, I'll bring you something. I said, man, you go to that church across the street from my sister's house, don't you? He was like, yeah. I said, well, bring it down, back across here. I'll meet you outside. He said, man, I ain't messing with you till after church. I told you. I was like, I'll tell you, I'm gonna get him when he come across this road. And I'm crippled up, and I can't track you. I ain't chasing nobody. That way. I come out on the porch, and I'm standing right there, right here around. I'm waiting on him to come. And he come, and this Sunday best come across it. I said, hey, you got that down? He said, well, I told you I'm going to church. That's where you need to go. I said, man, what kind of dope you tell me to go to church? Come over here. He said, no, I ain't coming over there with you. Then he come over there and got about me to you, Gerard. He said, I know all about you. You a broke down has-been, boy. You done tried everything else. Why don't you try Jesus one time? I see you at the church. He walked off. I was real mad. I was like, he come back, I'm beating him up. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Well, I sit in the house for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It seemed like a lifetime. About 11, 15 come. And all I could tell about my mama. I was like, man, you lied to your mama. The only one you got left, you lying to her. I said, I'm going to church with mama. Tell you go to church with me. You want me to go to church? I just told mama a lie? No. I'm not doing that. I said, well, I'm going to walk to church. She's like, you can't walk to church. Look at you. So, your wheel will push. It took me almost 45 minutes to walk that little walk But I got to Central Baptist Church, and I looked up there at them steps, on the front steps, and my God, that's a lot of steps, Mama. I'm like, what kind of church has this many steps? You know, I mean, they were forever. And here I am crippled up, and I'm trying to get up there, and my whole right side is messed up and in pain that nobody believes me except my mom. She's taking me to doctors. Nobody else thinks I'm just a junkie. My mom's trying to see the good in me, because I really was a pain. But it was best you didn't give me the drugs. It was. I ended up getting in the back of this church. I sit down in the very back pew. This preacher's preaching. He's preaching about a man named Judas. Now, he betrayed Jesus. And he said, if you died today, he said, where would you end up? He said, I end up in hell, preacher. And I'm in the back saying, because all I keep seeing is what the images I see. I knew what I seen, and I knew who was coming to get me. He said, you guarantee, you ain't guaranteed, you might get hit by a car. You might not ever walk out of this church again. Do you understand that? You need to make it right with God. He said, you got a chance right now. The Lord said, choose this day who you will serve. That old country boy was preaching it down, let me tell you. And it was like he was all up in my Kool-Aid. He was just all up in my face, and I was feeling condemned and broken, and I was like, man, quit. Just shut up so I can get down to that pew, and I want that man Jesus you're talking about. He kept on preaching, and I don't need this. So I waited on him finally. He gets down here, and he's like, finally, you know how the church does, you know, the music coming on, preacher walks in the front, you know how they sit and goes. They come down here. And I'm going to tell you now, I couldn't wait to get to the front of that church. I wasn't saved, and I wasn't grew up in church, so forgive me. I'm coming down through here, and all I know, Donnie, is I got to get to that man they're talking about. I'm coming down the aisle, and when I get there, a lady stands up about where you at, Jake, and she stands up when I get about where Donnie